Why, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi. How's everybody doing today? Happy afternoon, morning time zone, everyone. I did secure my sippy, so worry not, everybody. We are ready to roll and do stuff. Zombie Goblin says, "Oh, de possum." Yeah, that's basically what this smells like. This is the perfume in question. It is called Blood and Bone. So I could very well be a little possum in a strange forest out there in the wilderness, smelling like wet algae and cypress and blood and bones. It's very good. But yeah, how's everybody doing? I have my best bog witch smell on me. I'm ready to do art, to do stuff. Hold on, let me just we don't need anyone spying on my secrets. Not today. I'm just running stuff over with my chair. Because there's stuff on my floor. I have to clean my apartment. I'm not ready for this task, but I will do it. I will do it one of these days. Bird secrets. Yeah, no, you get full front row access to my bird nest by looking through that door. Well, let's see. This is where we left off on our beautiful little artwork. I love these characters too much. I don't think there's such thing as too much. I just really love them. Look at them. She's so chill and relaxed, just doing as the Fae do. And Toki's freaking the fuck out. So he's just having a bad time. But it's okay, because Fadov is here to kill all the things that are making him upset. And so we just need to dive back in and remember what exactly we were up to last time we were doing this. I think I was just so not hung up on, I was like so into rendering that cloak of Toki's, so we're probably gonna jump right back into that part. And Toki always be freaking out. That is true. He's scared. He's a sad little boy. But it's okay. Mama Faye Dove is here to completely remove all of these threats from his life. Let's see. This is the brush we got. Why do we have green turned on? Were we shading green stuff before? I don't even remember what I was doing last time I was in here. Oh no. That's fine. We'll figure it out. I think we want a bigger brush. For certain. Let's see, what am I? Toki's eyes are perfect. Yeah, he's having a time. He's okay though, I promise. Probably. Allegedly. He's doing okay. He's afraid. He's a little worried. So yeah, we're gonna see how much of this shading we can do. We'll see if we can get through a lot of it today. I don't know, my brain is like all over the place because I have 6,000 other projects that I should be working on at the same time. But I was like, oh no, I want to come onto stream. I want to hang out. I want to just work on some of the fun stuff. Because if I don't do it on stream, I'm not going to do it at all. And so I'm going to have a bad time. And so this is just my little way of coming to give myself a break from, you know, living and working and all that kind of stuff. And you guys get to go on that little adventure with me, because, you know, I have to drag you guys everywhere I go. Just makes sense. I'm trying to make so many more TikToks lately. I'm trying to pop off, trying to become the next TikTok star, you know what I'm saying? It's almost working. I just gotta make more original content. I really like using all the sounds and stuff and coming up with silly little scenarios for them to fit into, but I just need to figure out what kind of stuff I want to say and make and share with the world that is, you know, my own original thoughts. You know, the thoughts are original, it's just, you know, templates and stuff. They're pretty predictable. They're funny. They're really fun to make. I like using the templates to just do stuff. I get more bog witch content. True. I need to go outside more. I need to like share my little outdoor adventures. My examples of me touching grass. Sorry, I'm like working on this edge here and you can't even see it. Haha. I've been thinking about getting into bird watching as a hobby, like actual bird watching, going outside, looking at birds in the park with like a bunch of people with binoculars and all that. Honestly, I'm amazed that I didn't pick that hobby up sooner, but my friends in one of my Discord servers are like all over the whole bird watching thing right now. There's like the Merlin app and like the eBird and all that kind of stuff. You can log your sightings and all that kind of stuff. And so they introduced me to that, and so now I'm doing that. And so every single day I'm like, oh, I see the little house sparrows outside of my job, and I see the little pigeons on the bridge when I go to work. Although I did see 2 turkey vultures just sitting in someone's front yard the other day on my way to work. And so that was exciting. That was excellent. They were just having a little snack by the side of the road. And so I really, in that moment, I was like, oh man, I really should have pulled over and taken a picture. Because like I very easily could have. It was, you know, like residential area. Could have just pulled over, snapped some pictures. It would have been really cool. But no, I just kind of drove by. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be late to work. Like, who cares if I'm late to work? I'm late to work like every single day. As long as I pull in my 40 hours, they actually don't care. And they told us as long as you're here by 9:30, you're technically not late, so who cares? So I skirt that line every single day. I tell myself I'm gonna show up to work by like before 9 o'clock, and then I don't. Whatever. They're there to send a message. Oh gosh, what kind of message were they sending? They telling me to watch myself, or were they telling me that I should tell my enemies to watch themselves? You know, I really don't have enemies. That I know of. That I know of. They could be out there. I don't know, you didn't stop. Oh, you're right, I should have. But it is straight up, it is just the wildest experience. You're driving along the road and you just look to your left. Like, okay, one of them was like on the ground actively eating something, and the other one was just sitting kind of like above it a little bit on a fence, like a little railing. And it was just like, oh my god. These huge birds just sitting there chilling, lurking. Very exciting experience for everyone involved. Everyone being me, and probably the bird having a snack. I'm just a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of birds. I don't know if anybody knows this here. Um, it could come as a surprise to some. If it's a surprise to you, I ask how. Maybe you're new here? But even my name kind of spells it out for you. I'm not gonna say that I'm obsessed, but I'm a little bit obsessed. It could be weirder. You could have driven by and seen a wizard. that that would have been excellent. I would have loved that actually. Bird streamer, a fan of birds? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. I can't believe you do this. Strix line. Despicable bird streamer lying to the public. Can't trust a bird. Birds are notorious liars. True. I mean, what? No, I would never lie to anyone about anything. I'm a practitioner of bird law. Bird law states that you should not be lying to the humans. Every time this song pops up on my stream playlist, I always think of Divinity Original Sin 2 and I want to play it so bad. I'm gonna get looped back into that game again at some point, and I'm just gonna lose all hours of my life. Toy Boy, hello and happy time zones. Hello, how are you? We're having our little art stream today. We're talking about how birds are notorious liars, and I respectfully, as a resident bird, disagree because I would never tell a lie to a human. Obviously. Good, I'm thinking about funny voices for next week. Ah, yes, I I can't wait for like the silly voices. I'm wondering if I should do a voice just for funnies. Because it's so rare that I get to just put on a voice and play make-believe pretend ha-has as not myself. I always get so in my head like, oh, should I do an accent? Accents are so fun and silly. You're free to do as you wish. Ah! I'm excited. Ah. Yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm gonna be in a one-shot pretty soon for Play May. Ah! So cool, so fun. And Katoipoi here is going to take us on this adventure. As a DMGM, I get to do all the dumb voices. Heck yeah! I'll find my favorite silly little voice and I'll use that. I'll see what character I like and then I can play to make that voice fit. So, got this little detail in here. Try and do this little like silvery kind of trim on his gear. Originally I had it sketched out in gold. You can even see it from like little belt and such, but a request was put in for silver instead, so we're doing silver instead. We're just gonna make sure that we do it right and make sure it looks pretty and nice. I do love silver. I feel like I tend to lean gold myself, like in terms of preferences and what I'm drawn to. But I'm also a Fae player at LARP, and we like silver. So, naturally, I like both. I think I tend to lean towards gold because I like to keep a warmer palette. But at the same time, any outfit that has like a whole bunch of greens and silver to it, I'm just all over. And gosh, I want to play that LARP character again so bad. So every time like myself and my friends, we bring up these LARP characters from Ascendia, we're like, oh my gosh. We start opening up emotionally about how much we miss this game and how much we want to play it again so bad. Oh, I miss it. Such a good game. We'll have to revive it one of these days. I say we as if we have a say in it, but like, we have to, of course. I'm looking at the like tiny little view of this on my other screen in Streamlabs and like, I like how this little trim is looking so far. It's all about the funny, like, tiny details. Gosh, sorry, I describe everything with the word funny as if it's just like a little. It barely even has meaning anymore. I just say things are like a funny little thing, funny little this. Half the time it's not even funny. Half the times it's not even little. Just start describing things as a funny little hee-hoo. Hee-hoo this thing and that thing. I just utilize the English language against its will. And I come up with random things that maybe shouldn't be said. Not that they shouldn't be said, but they just don't make sense the way that I'm saying them. And listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's funny. Good. Yes, I love that I can pull up the little swatches tab here. Yeah, so we just need to lessen this a little bit. Make that a little smaller altogether. Let's fill that in with this base color. Maybe should have used this darker color to fill in here. Of course, we need to fill in this highlight here. Kind of a weird color for a highlight, but I think it works for what I'm doing. It's like, you know, it's like that color theory thing where like this brown here doesn't really strike me as a great highlight. Like it looks really dark. But I mean, compared to all this stuff that I'm doing here, like it's a lot lighter. So it works. And I don't really know if I want to do any brighter highlights than that on this dark cloak. Because I feel like it wouldn't be... I don't think it's too reflective or like shiny, sleek of a cloak. I imagine it is kind of a coarser, kind of like rougher fabric, so it doesn't reflect as much. But you can still very, very easily see like, oh, the lighting is hitting it in this way, and it's kind of folding and meshing around in this way. I'm very good with my technical terms, you see. That's what I get for going to art school and then forgetting everything I learned in art school. And for anyone asking, I did not learn to draw people in art school. that was my own thing. I guess I learned a little bit. We did like figure studies and stuff, but then we never focused on portraiture or anything like that. So I kind of just had to figure it out myself. You know how that like fine art thing goes. It's all about like the sculpture and the abstract and all that kind of stuff. All the stuff that I wasn't really into, but then I went to art school anyway because I wanted to do this kind of stuff. And I'm not going to say that the 4 years were wasted either, because I got a lot of good experiences out of it. Some better than others. Some things that I wish I could leave behind forever and lock away and pretend they never happened or existed. But that's fine, that's life, right? You go places, you meet people, those people mess up your entire life trajectory, and then you move on. But sometimes these people introduce you to even better people that you love so much, and they are still a part of your life. Hello, everyone. get some new people in here. You appreciate the sketchy things in your life for the not so sketchy things that they bring you. Toki. I keep scrolling up to look at his face like, this poor guy. He's just freaking out. I don't know what he saw, what he's yelling about, but he saw something and he's like, Native, kill that thing, please. For the love of all that is holy, including my blood. I want to play these characters together again at some point. I want to explore their backstory. He looks like someone who saw the beginning of next week's adventure. Oh no. should I have this face on right now? Is this what I should be doing in preparation for next week? I am afraid. Oh no. Yes, he says. Because, of course, we have him freaking out, but, you know, she's all calm, cool, and collected. She's like, yeah, I'll kill that for you, baby. Don't you worry about it. So yeah, this is us. This is us seeing our adventure next week, and this is you, the DM, all calm and cool and collected like, don't you worry about a thing. Well, maybe worry, but, you know, we'll figure it out. I'm very excited to see what horrible traumatic events unfold. Hopefully we won't all just immediately perish. Hopefully. I mean, it could happen. Could also be very silly. A little silly haha. See, what you do is you bring us all in, and then you TPK us immediately, and then you say, okay, roll some new characters for the one-shot. Bo. That's one way to begin a campaign. I've literally done that on stream before. What? Oh no! I was just making that up from like the insides of my brain. But I resurrected them right after. Okay, cool. So it's a little different. You're not asking them to bring back completely different people. It'd be really funny if you did. Still really funny that you did that. Just insta-kill everybody. Oh. DMs are a force of chaos that I will never be able to comprehend, but will always greatly appreciate. It would be cool for me to one day graduate to the role of DM, but I don't know when that might be. Like, I would love to get games running in my world at some point, like someday in the future. But my world is, like, distinctly not mechanically aligned with D&D. So I would have to come up with a system, or, like, come up with a system, adapt a system, find a way to balance that system. I don't know. It's a whole process. Because standard D&D would not really work in my setting. I did it to the great GM when he had an open call for GMs. It was fun. But yeah, so I'm hoping I can write out my world enough in like the near to distant future where I can actually host some games in there at some point, get a feel for the process, see how everything can work out. Cuz the magic system in my world works in very different ways than how one would, you know, utilize it in D&D. So I'd have to find a way. If I wanted to use the 5e system, I'd have to find a way to modify magic use in a way that makes sense. And I can't really describe it right now because even I don't have a full handle on how I'd want it to function. So it really is one of those situations like I just have a lot of writing to do. I have a lot of figuring out to do before I can even dream of hosting such a thing in my world. Because of course when I first started, like D&D was the system I was running it in, and I was kind of writing it around that system, but that is no longer true. And so I have to find another way. Fair enough, there are a ton of systems out there. Also, best way to learn is to just jump in. You're right. I know you're right. I just don't think I'm ready for that. We'll get there. We'll get there one day, I promise, but not today. And probably not soon. I'm going to work on giving myself a proper jumping off point. And from that jumping off point, then I'll be like, let's skedaddle skedoodle and just kind of come hang out, you know? And yeah, so one day we'll do it. That is going to be my promise to the universe. One day we are going to do it. We're gonna get there. We just have to get there. And that's gonna be the difficult part, but ugh. A lot of the hard things in life are the things worth doing. So we just have to kind of sit with the discomfort of certain things in life, and ew. Also, the adventure does take a horror thriller turn in there. It's called Massacre on the Moonleaf Express for a reason. But I picked some fun, funny people to be in it. So I'll follow the mood of the table. That is totally cool with me. I am definitely not opposed to horror and horror themes. Yep, it's no problem with me. And I know you mentioned you were gonna kind of keep it a little toned down just for the tone of stream, but it's all good with me. Like I'm totally cool with that. I'm cool with whatever. I just hope that my performance anxiety at the table does not take over and prevent me from like going all in. Because that is possible, and it's something I try to fight all the time. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the horror themes. I'm afraid of me not playing well. Please go all in, please. I will try. I promise you I will try. I just have anxiety. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be fun. Like, you know, you have us in the group chat with all the people that are in there, and like I know some of these people. I'm excited to chat with some of these people. So hopefully it's not going to feel like me being thrown into a room of strangers, because it's not. A couple strangers maybe, but not a room full of them. But we're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have a blast. I'm manifesting that energy into the world. It's early. May have to mainline caffeine beforehand. Yes, good. I cannot relate because caffeine puts me to sleep, but I will have to get up early. We're gonna have a good time. And yeah, I'm gonna try to like hype myself up for it going in. Like, man, this is gonna be a great time. We're gonna have the best time. We're gonna roleplay. We're gonna do stuff. We're probably gonna hit things. It's gonna be great. When I say probably gonna hit things, I just mean the dice might not agree. But that's, you know, that's standard procedure really for any game. Yes. Yes, I'm excited. A little nervous as I am with most things, but like more excited than nervous, so that's good. I'm really taking my time with these fine details. I was really close, like really, really close to just kind of canceling stream for today because I really wasn't feeling it this morning today. Like it was one of those days, you know, where you just kind of wake up. You're definitely already on the wrong side of bed, even though you haven't left it yet. I'm just laying there like, oh, I'm not ready to begin today. And I still feel a little bit unprepared to be like present in today. But we're here and we're doing it. And I feel pretty good about doing it. Cuz I'm having another one of those moments where I'm working on this piece and I'm like I'm getting a little bit mushy, like I'm realizing like I don't do enough personal art for myself. Like, you know, this is a piece for me. Like no one asked me to do this. I'm just doing this because I want to. Like I'm realizing like I don't do this often enough, and doing this right now is making me like I'm having fun. I'm having a good time drawing. I'm not like stressing out over this piece. I'm just hanging out, doodling, drawing, shading, sketching. It's fun. It's good. And if I just canceled stream today, I wouldn't have done this at all, and I would just be back to, you know, working on the more stressful stuff, the deadline stuff. Like, I'm gonna be working on that after stream anyway, so that's not. I didn't like throw that away so I could do this. I just postponed it a little bit so I could have some relaxing time, have some fun, chat with you guys, do some art for myself, have a little good time. And so I'm happy about that. Like I'm trying to beat back the weasels in my brain that say don't do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing anyway. Because it's good, and I want to be consistent, and I want to have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Oh, and you had dried mango, which you love but are a little allergic to. That's such a shame. Because mango is like my favorite fruit. And so of course I'll have like the dried mango and the regular mango and the mango juice. It's all so good. It's so yummy. I have such like intense sympathy for everybody who like has an allergy for my favorite things. Like cats and different fruits and different foods. It's just so sad. It's oh, sniffy. Yes, I have some really ripe mango I want to eat but can't. Gonna give it to my kid. Oh, that's nice. At least you have somewhere to put it. It's like I know it'd be terrible. Like if you love this thing but you can't have it and you have to throw it away, that's so sad. At least if you give it to someone else, you know, like they can enjoy it in my stead. And that way, someone gets to enjoy this thing that I can't. Yes, put mango in, kid, is good. Yeah. I mean, I was definitely that kid that my mom would just constantly buy mangoes for. It's you know, it's one of those you know, like the European parents thing where like they're not always so outwardly affectionate to you, but they'll always bring you some dried fruit to munch on because they love you so much and that's how they show it. It was one of those situations for me, but it was like with the mango and everything. So I get little mangoes and I get little like cut up vegetables and all the yummy things. And so now for me, like the little ultimate act of self-care is just cutting up a little bit of fruit for myself and a little veggies and giving myself a little dipping sauce. And I just put it on my desk, present it to myself like, this is for you because I love you. And I think that's good practice for anybody to do. Just give yourself nice things because you love you. What is this? Oh, getting texts on my phone telling me that my payments are processing. Because of course living in this world is very expensive. It's a rough one. And of course we can't work overtime at my job anymore suddenly, so now I'm getting even less money than I'm used to. So I have to really like cut back on my purchases. Not that I buy a ton of stuff to begin with, but I definitely I'm definitely one to kind of impulse buy stuff. So I'll just kind of decide I want something and be like, yeah, I have enough money for that, and I'll just buy it. And like, very rarely do I put myself in the red for purchases. Like I don't think I ever really have. It's just now, of course, because I just went on vacation, I'm kind of like catching up on a couple of bills and credit card things. And so my bank balance is, not climbing for a little bit. And now my, account growth is a little stunted by the fact that I can't just opt to work more for additional money. Because I would just do that every single week, Like I do overtime, and in my department there's always a reason to do more overtime. So it's not like I was just sitting there doing nothing. But now we don't have the option. I don't know. Could probably work something out case by case, but that all really depends. I'm like the single dedicated QC person on my team at this point, so if we get swamped with work and I'm the only one checking over every single job, I might ask for more time. Because at that point it might just be necessary. Because I don't know how long they think it takes for me to look through jobs by myself, page by page, one at a time. But if they want it to be thorough, it takes a lot longer than everyone else seems to do it for. And listen, these little peepers, they be peeping a lot of stuff, and that's why they put me in charge of all this. And I like what I do. What I do is pretty cool. But yeah, on the topic of buying too much stuff, like it's heading into Ren Fair season. I think in some places it already is Ren Fair season, but not in New York. Like for New York, it's like there's like two different Ren Fairs, I think. One's like July, August, and the other one's August, September. I don't know. I think we were looking it up because some of us at work wanted to go together. And I would love to do that. I want to do that so bad. If any of my coworkers are in the chat right now, I don't know if they are. But if you are and you're lurking, I want to go. So let's make plans. Oh yeah, it's been Ren Fair here. I want to go, but I have a no new swords policy this year, which may be broken. No! Hold strong. Or don't. I don't know. Whichever makes you happier, honestly. A new sword can be very exciting. I need to share a heartbreaking fact with you, and that is the fact that I don't own a sword. I don't even have one. And that's tragic. Heartbreaking, even. I technically own one, but it's like, it's definitely like a prop. Like it's not a proper sword, it's not sharpened or anything. And I got it at like an auction when I was a child. I wanted it really badly. I begged my parents for it, and they're like, ugh, fine, but we're keeping it. You don't get to keep it in your room or anything like that. I'm like, yes! Yes, a sword! But yeah, it's not sharp. I don't even think it's usable. It just had like a really cool like hilt on it, and like the design and everything was so cool. It was more like it was like kind of like this long, so not like a I don't know. I'm trying to show it on stream, but like it's like on the verge of being a dagger short sword thing. But it was cool. I liked it. I liked having it. But I need a real sword. A little short sword, yeah. I need a sword. My little gremlin hands lack a weapon. And so I would just love to have one day. And so yes, I am a little bit afraid of what might happen if I choose to go to a Ren Fair. Maybe I'll set my camera up with my sword rack behind me next week. Oh yes! That'd be so cool. Like the perfect way to show off that you're like the DM and you mean business, because you have all these swords everywhere. Things get really heated in a scene, you just like go rip a sword off the wall and start brandishing at the camera. That way we really know that we messed up. Peeking at my other screen every couple seconds to see if the values look even close to what I want them to be. I'm kind of just like improvising at every step of this. I'm the person who started the trend of bringing real hammers to the end of World Anvil streams. Heck yeah. I don't have a hammer on me. My default is to grab the clown horn. And that is my little grab your hammer and go world build every single time I happen to be on a stream. I just think it's fun. I think it's neat. And of course, we know that world building so often just is clownery. That's not a hammer. I'm sorry, I don't have a hammer. I have a fork. I genuinely, I don't think I own a hammer, which is kind of silly. But it never really comes up. I have my kid's old rubber Mjolnir hanging around. Ah, that's so cute. Yeah, I don't own a hammer. That's such a silly thing now that I'm thinking about it. Like, not even, not even just like a regular, plain, ordinary hammer. Not even like one of the tiny little ones that you can get at like Home Depot that are like, for the children in your life that want to do hammering. Hammer's actually necessary in life. I know. I completely believe you. I just don't think I've ever had a situation come up where I personally needed a hammer. You don't have a meat tenderizer? No, I don't. I don't have like anything. I don't tenderize meat. Like that's not really something I end up doing most of the time. I mean, I don't know. I'm still quite fresh to the world of being an adult and also to the world of cooking as well. So, maybe one of these days I might end up with a meat tenderizer in my home. Or right now, I'm at the stage of my life where I don't think I need one yet. I keep moving around everywhere. I need to settle. I need to relax one of these days. I'm a seasoned adult. I have all the stuff. Yeah. I haven't evolved to that stage of my life yet. I'm maybe theoretically getting somewhere close to there, but we'll have to see. If I finally hit a period of my life where I'm not moving like every other year, I think then I will say like, okay, I'm a reasonably settled adult. I have a place that I consistently call my own. I'm gonna start populating it with stuff. Because if I start getting all these different things and all these different tools and all these different, they're useful and I should have them, but they take up a lot of space and make it very difficult to move. But I move so much and I don't use these things often enough for me to say, oh yes, I need these and I need them now. Because I kind of don't. I make do without them just fine. It is my dream one day to have like, to have my own house and to have this perfect like little Barbie dream house kitchen where I have everything that I need. Ugh. Hiccups. And so that's kind of like my life goal. I'm hoping that this job I have will give me, kind of like stability moving forward. And then when that stability kind of like takes hold and I have my own place, it would be, imagine what an absolute dream it would be to buy a house in this the year 2023. That'd be crazy. But it's certainly a goal. Stability is so good. I didn't have it for a while, so I value it more nowadays. Yeah, I've never had that, so I'm kind of like working my way up. We're gonna try our best. 'Cause yeah, like I feel good. Like I have a great apartment. Like I love where I live right now. I love my job. My coworkers are really cool. Obviously, things get a little stressful, and they just told us to stop working overtime. And you know, it's not ideal, but like it's still a really fun job. Like I fit in really well there. I do really well there. People are like recognizing that I'm doing really well there. And so yeah, the outlook is pretty good. That's really legit great. Yeah. Like I like to think so. So I'm still kind of like the new fish in town. I just had my like first anniversary of working there last month, and so, you know, I got 1 year under my belt, and that's pretty cool. I've gotten like 2 raises in that time, so that's also fun. So yeah, we're just gonna hope that we can keep riding that train up. So I really wouldn't mind making that kind of like my career trajectory, you know what I mean? Yeah, I really lucked out with this apartment that I got into. Um, because the property manager is an absolute angel. And like I applied to live here kind of like in a rush. I had to be out of my previous apartment like basically within that month. And you know, that's not a super common turnaround for apartments, especially nowadays. Um like I applied, and it's a good thing I called like a couple days later like, "Hi, I was just wondering when I might hear back about whether or not I can, you know, get this apartment or whatever." She's like, "Oh, that's actually like a huge wait list for this. Like we don't really have anything open." And I was like, "Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah, I just need to find somewhere to live within the month." And she's like, "Wait, what?" And so that is the story of how I got into my apartment on very short notice, because by like the shred of a chance of luck, someone who was planning to move into a certain apartment here ended up not doing so. And so they had exactly one opening for a studio here. And it's like, it's really nice. So much of life is right place, right time, and who you know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I mean, who you know is how I got this job. Because my best friend worked, or like he still works here, and I got in on his recommendation. And I don't think they would have given me like a second look otherwise. But then I ended up becoming like their go-to QC person for our department. And it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy how that works out. It's pretty crazy how often people get passed up for jobs because they assume you're not going to be a good fit. And turns out you can just blow their processes out of the water just by showing up. I started doing QC on jobs before I even fully understood how to do a job myself. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's not really my job to complete jobs and designs at this point. But they do sometimes have me do them now, because, time. If there's nothing for me to QC, then might as well just, do some jobs myself. Good usage of time. Yeah, the apartment I'm in is like, it says it's a studio, but there's technically like a little bedroom. So that's really nice. Like I can have my bed in a separate room in an apartment that's still considered a studio. And I have this lovely little kitchen that's not actually like tiny. It's like a decent sized kitchen. I have my nice little bathroom that's not cramped. I don't know, I feel like that whole moving out, moving in situation was just like the universe attempting to conspire against me and then being like, oh, hold up. No, that wasn't supposed to work out for you, bud. That was that was supposed to knock you down a peg, but now you're living even better than you used to. So yeah. Right place, right time is just kind of like the motto of my life at this point. Um a lot of good things are happening for me. A lot of like really weird, bad, questionable things are also happening, but then good things happen to offset those weird, bad things. It's wild, actually. And like especially after the time that we've had, and like, I use the collective we over the past 3 years. It's been it's been not great for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And me coming into this, like I'll just say, like, the pandemic and everything, I came into that situation already having a bad time, like for unrelated things. Like I was already having a bad time. I was like looking for ways out of that bad time. And then the pandemic comes and shuts everything down, and all my options that I was looking at are no longer available. And so, stuck in a bad situation for even longer. No good. But now I'm here. I'm here. I'm on my own. And like in a positive light, I'm on my own. I'm feeling good. I'm supporting myself. I'm having fun with my hobbies and all my friends here on my stream watching me do this art. Like, look at this. I'm so in love with this character. I love the way that I drew her hair. This little flower here is still in progress, so just ignore that one. But she's so cute. Also, you won major prizes from World Anvil. I know! That is the craziest thing for me too, because loving the art, thank you. Like that is also the craziest thing for me, because I mean, I don't know. We were all there at the awards stream where I was giving my little speech and just like crying in front of literally everybody. But for real, like I experienced so much in the past few years that was just like soul crushing and terrible. And so me just like deciding I'm gonna do my little writing thing again, and then getting like literal huge prizes consistently throughout the year, like after making that decision. Like it was the most wildly affirming thing to me. That was like, hey man, you're doing good. You're surviving, you're living. You're having a good time. You're making your dreams come true. And meanwhile, it's just me like openly weeping and sobbing like, yeah, you're right. I'm doing well. For the first time in like ever. So yeah, I'm very jazzed about the fact that I am like doing well and like winning stuff. You have to run, got errands with the kid. Well, have fun with your errands. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was really nice to chat with you. And gosh, I'm so looking forward to next week's adventure that apparently I should be absolutely terrified of going in, so I will keep that energy going. I promise you I will make a character soon. Probably tonight or tomorrow. Also looking forward to it. Bye, Lurk. Goodbye. Yeah, so I'm just out here living, surviving, writing, attempting to thrive. Because, like, you know, for many, many years now, and I'm sure many, many others can relate, total survival mode. Not really living in the broad sense of things. Just surviving. Just doing whatever you can to make sure that you stay afloat. And not actually, not actually doing much for yourself aside from that. And it's really rough having to kind of stay in a cycle like that. I had some friends, some really good friends, who built me up and told me that I could do it. Showed me that I could be strong enough to handle anything that life throws at me. And whether those friends are still in my life or not, many of them unfortunately are not, those lessons stick with me forever. But to the many friends who are still in my life, some of which are hanging out, lurking in here, I know you are. Thank you for loving me at my lumpiest state. That's my favorite way to describe myself when I'm like not doing great. It's just my lumpy state. I'm just a lump. And there are many days where I still feel a little lumpy. Like today, this morning, when I was like, oh, I kind of don't want to stream. But you know what? I did it anyway. Because you know what? It's not that I don't want to stream. It's that I was just not feeling great. You know, we can turn that around. That is something we can do. And you know what? My friends would want me to live my best life right now. My best life right now is hanging out with all you cool people on stream. Doing some art, talking about my writing, talking about how my life trajectory has changed over the years, and celebrating the fact that I'm still here. Because I don't know, the fact that I'm still here is kind of like a miracle of the ages, if you will. And so yeah, it's gonna take me 12 years to finish rendering this. So I hope you're along for that journey, because it really is going to take a forever and a half. I'm like a notoriously slow artist. Although, I don't know, I get really mixed reviews because some people tell me that I work really fast, and other people are like, other people I see them bust out sketches and finish pieces in like 40 minutes. I'm like, alright, buddy. I think the reason I'm such a slow artist, like even in digital, is because like you see the way I'm like putting down these lines, right? Like one at a time, one tiny little scratch at a time. I'm drawing as if I'm still using like a ballpoint pen in my hands. Like realistically, I know that digital offers like all these brushes and things to speed up the process. I could make multiple lines at the same time. There are literally brushes. I have downloaded brushes that are for cross-hatching. I cannot shake the traditional mindset that's like, put down the lines yourself. I don't know, there's something like really intentional about the lines that I put down sometimes, and you know, if you have a brush that automatically generates like 5 or 6 of them at a time, you didn't really plan all of those individually. I guess that kind of just makes it difficult for me. I like by the minute it is just getting like warmer and warmer in my apartment. And I don't have the AC turned on right now cuz you know, it's loud, it's groaning, it's like I don't want that to be the stream noise. I'm sure there's like enough noise just from me being alive. But yeah, it is indeed finally getting warmer in weather, which like, you know, I'm very excited about the fact that it's getting warmer in real life. I do not do winter. I barely do spring or autumn. I'm just always cold. And whenever I'm cold, it's really difficult for me to work because I have these little bird hands, these like little creature fingers. They're thin, they're narrow, they freeze very easily. They freeze very easily, very quickly. And so if ever I am cold, well, now suddenly it's very difficult for me to work. And so yeah, it ends up like sucking really bad. But of course, you know, with the nature of how working and living in the 21st century world works, you just kind of have to push through it and pretend like you are not in pain. You. Alright, Toki Cloak. I'm wondering if this is like, I'm wondering if this is just like too much detail. I don't know, man. I could, of course, just, Cause like I would love to work on being kind of like a more graphic kind of style artist where I'm not focusing so much about like each individual tiny little detail and tiny little line. Where I can just block out shapes and worry less about how, you know, every single stroke of the pen looks and works and melds together with everything else. That would be a dream, wouldn't it? I'd have a lot less to worry about, a lot less to think about. But then, but then I make like a super detailed, like, words, rendered piece. And I'm like, oh, this looks so cool. This looks so great. I love how detailed it is. And then, you know, it just unfolds that way. And then I can't help myself. I'm like, nah, screw like the graphic kind of style. I wanna keep making super detailed rendered art. And then we just end up in this cycle where I'm like, oh no, I wanna try this thing. And I'm like, no, I like the way that this thing looks. And so I'm not gonna change anything. And yeah, so it's a little rough one. It's like I'm gonna tell everyone right now, I do not do enough studies to support a purely semi-photoreal art style 24/7. I think that's why I kind of started making emotes and things, because the emote art style is just so simple and easy. It's just like, you know, easy compared to this. It's not always easy to get the it's not always easy to portray like an emote emotion in emote scale, because like it has to be very small, it has to be very readable from a distance. But luckily for me, I have a background in graphic design, so I can make it work most of the time. You know, there's still some misses, of course, because like I'm not a professional emote artist by any means, but you know, I've made a couple sets, I've made several dollars off of the sales. And yeah, so I like to think I'm doing pretty well on that. I'd like to make more. Like I think that's my weakest kind of thing is I make good things, but I just don't make enough of them. Like I need to make more time for actually producing work. Cuz I've kind of been stuck in this cycle, I guess. I don't know what better word to use, where practically all of the artwork I make, like at all in general, is like commission work, client work, work for other people. And so that takes up all of my time. And so I don't get to do stuff like this, like what I'm doing right now, for myself. But this right now that you're watching is me purposely carving out, like by force, time for me to work on stuff for myself because I know I need it. I know it's good for my mental health. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Of course, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we gotta be aware that we are mentally ill and treat ourselves in a better way. Although I prefer to be called the mentally illest. I do believe myself to be the illest. Ah. Let's move this out of the way. Toki's coming along. He's looking very textured. I'm probably gonna have to paint over some of these textures a little just to simplify things a bit. Again, I love what I got going on here. It's just looking a little too complex. I don't know. We're just gonna keep going with the flow until we decide we are done, and then from there we can decide, like, okay, do we like this? Do we not? Do we want to keep this detail? It's all good. It's just the process of creating. And there we go. I'm just eager to see where we end up with this piece. So I'm also wondering, like, oh, do I want to put a background on here? Do I want to make my life even harder? Because it's very possible that I would. And that I will. Am I dreading it? Yeah, probably, a little. Oh, forgive me for being sleepy. The sleepy is just constant. I wish I could, like, stop it. But I cannot. I'm looking at some of this structure, some of this fabric, and I'm like, is this what I actually want it to look like draped around here? planning, considering, looking. I don't know. We just grab this little color here. I could say that this is its own piece. How do I feel about that? Do I like that? Ba-da-bum. I'm gonna say that I do, because I'm just gonna assume that I do. And yeah, we're just gonna go with the flow here. Oh my gosh, I wish I could tell you I knew what I was doing at any given time, but I don't, because I'm just a little artist who's doing their best. And that is the best I can do. Just say that and leave it at that. And so yeah, I'm you. Getting more of this shade in here. I feel like I struggle working with darker colors, just in general. I think it's just not a skill that I ever properly worked to hone. So I know that portraying like a dark fabric, for example, is all about kind of how you draw in the light reflecting off of it and less about the actual color that you use. I don't know. I don't know these art terms. I'm not a doctor. Like it's kind of the it's kind of like the difference in shading light versus dark skin. Like you have to shade them differently. Like you can't use the same shading style on light and dark skin because the colors interact differently. The light reflects differently off of those surfaces. And so, yeah, I need to learn how to hone those skills in dealing with like darker base textures and colors. I would like to do that sooner rather than later. Yeah, there's just so many silly little important things to keep track of while you're doing art and learning art and studying the process. Like, why does my neck keep hurting? Certainly not from the way I sit like a shrimp. Um, Gosh, I distracted myself for like half a second and I already forgot what I was talking about before. Oh yes. Learning how to shade things in different colors and different values. Yeah, it's oh yeah, and sitting like a shrimp. I just gotta be doing that. I should stop doing that. But what can you really do? Add some shading here.
Refresh yourselves.
Sippies. Thank you. It has been a little while since I had a sip, isn't it? Thank you, Mira Cosmo. Oh, that's not the right color. I was using my silver shade on the cloak. Although it probably wouldn't hurt to add some extra colors in there, but it's not our objective. It is not what we should be doing. Yeah, I had the loveliest little, like, herby omelet for breakfast today, and like the entirety of a red bell pepper. I go feral for that crunch. I love that vegetable so much. I don't know who else here will just like cut up a red bell pepper and eat it. The whole thing. Like, not do anything to it, just cut it up and eat it. I don't think that's a weird thing. I just know that not a lot of my friends do that. So I'm kind of like alone in this. I just like the good crunchy vegetable. Makes my body happy, makes my heart happy. Alright. Alright, and that trim already looks way more silver than it did before. Thank goodness. Because I keep staring at these like fields of like light blue and thinking, oh, that does not look good. That doesn't look proper. But yeah, at least now it's now it actually looks like a little trim and not just something. I probably do want to add like a lighter, whiter highlight. Like, what does that look like? Yeah. We're just gonna pop this over here. We're keeping a little collection of colors here in our palette. So we're just getting a little bit of light on some of these portions. Yeah, that looks silvery. I like that. We're just gonna grab this color too and put it down here. Might as well have it. Thinking we're gonna put this little trim sideways here. Just to be like, oh look, this fabric goes in different directions. As fabric often does when you fold it over itself in strange ways. I can sometimes feel myself, even though I'm having fun with this, like getting a little frustrated with how long it seems like it's taking me certain steps. I'm trying not to like feel that too much, if that makes sense. I'm sure, you know, as if any creators are in this chat right now, I'm sure you understand what it's like to just kind of feel like you should be doing better. And then just kind of not seeing that in the work that you're actually doing right now. Like, I feel like I should be excelling at some of these things that I'm doing, but then some of them are just taking me a lot longer than I feel like they should. Like, maybe I'm stumbling on certain parts, or I don't know which colors to pick, or which shades to use. Ugh, it's a rough one. But I'm attempting to do my best. Some of these silver, like, strips were a little too chunky, in my opinion, but really not that hard to kind of tone them down. Ah. And of course today I have my good morning sunshine mug. Nice and bright and yellow. Cause I'm trying to bring that energy into my life today. Like, yes, it is a good morning, and I should be ready and excited to live and do work and stuff. But my body's like, you sure about that? Are you sure about that? And I'm just like, no, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to be a person today. And 90% of the time I'm not, but I'm doing it anyway, because that's what can you really do otherwise, right? You just have to try it, and you have to keep going. Just do the thing, do the art, have a good time. Try to have a good time. Try not to psych yourself out too much over the fact that you are not constantly having a good time. Honestly, I think that's like the hardest part of not having a good time. Not the fact that you're having a bad time, it's the fact that you're not having a good time. You just get so in your head about this kind of stuff. That's like, oh, I feel bad because I should be having a good time. And then you just end up making yourself feel worse because you're like, I should be having a good time. And you end up psyching yourself out and making yourself feel even worse. Like, why am I feeling guilty for not having a good time? Why am I making myself feel guilty? Bad times just are a thing. And that's on anxiety. But yeah, nobody tell chat that I'm actually working on this cloak right now because I feel like it'll be infinitely easier than Fadov's attire. Because I really don't know what like I don't really even know how I feel about the outfit she has on. But I also don't hate it either. So I don't want to change it, but I also kind of want to change it. You know what I mean? I kind of like whatever like flowery, petally kind of clothy mass of a shoulder she has wearing. But yeah. It's certainly a lot more complex than black robes with a silver trim. Or at least in terms of concept. I feel like I'm doing a lot of like weird stuff with this fabric right now. What color is this? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I, as an artist, sometimes pretend that I know what I'm doing. But that's all it is, it's pretend. Who's thunking around in my hallway? I just keep hearing stuff outside. And I don't want to be hearing stuff outside. Then I get nervous. I know I don't really have a reason to be nervous about that right here. Be nervous about that kind of stuff here, but okay. I'm just a creature, I cannot help it. Just doing what I can, doing my best, and dark here. Of course, this is like all sketched in, so I have to fill in these lines. Or these gaps, I should say, my bad. Oh. I just had my breakfast like very recently, like 2 hours ago. Not even. I was eating like right up until the moment I turned on stream. But yeah, I could really go for another meal right now. It would be nice. Alright, Streamlabs. Apparently, Streamlabs was telling me that my frames were dropping about an hour ago. I don't know if that was true or is still true. I hope not. But who knows? It's too late to address it now. It's alright, you're obviously not here to see the stream, right? You're here to just sit in this room and listen to me ramble about random things. Is that not your favorite pastime? Hey. I tried turning like my entire body this way so I'd be more comfortable doing my little sketching, but it actually only made me feel more unsteady and less comfy, so... I'm used to sitting wrong, I guess. Sitting like an absolute creature and not a person. But yeah, so we have some... I have like a lot of fun, exciting announcements for like the next while, which is pretty crazy. And I feel like I should talk about at least some of them while I'm live. Like the first like obvious one, on Monday, the Survivors board game project is hitting Kickstarter. Like it's launching officially on Kickstarter, which is cool. That is the board game project that I did all the art for. And so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have my art in a Kickstarter project. That better not fall through, or else I'll feel really silly. Yeah, that was really cool. I got to work on a whole project. Oh, I'm continuing to work on this whole project. You know how Kickstarters are. They're not fully finished when they launch. But whatever. I'm working on this project with a LARP, my very first ever LARP that I ever went to. I get to do this art project with. That's very cool. It's been like on and off, ongoing, in between hiatuses since like kinda early in the pandemic. But you know, pandemic strikes and it's like, well, we gotta put this on hold. We'll get back to you when we need you again. Like, okay. And of course, my life was a roller coaster. Everything sucked for a long time. But now it's crunch time. Now where it's actually like, it's going live, we're gonna be doing it. That's pretty cool and exciting and fun. I'm thinking I might do a little Monday night live stream. Kind of like going into it, introducing the project, like, you know, scrolling through the Kickstarter, basically like reading out all the stuff. Just being like, yeah, this is all the stuff that's going on. This is everything that's here. And I'll do a little art tour little tour of all the art that's like being presented. So yeah, if that sounds like something that might interest you, y'all can let me know. Probably gonna do it anyway, but at least if you let me know, then I'll know that someone actually wants to watch that. Although I don't know, usually my Saturday Sunday crew aren't around in the evenings during the week because, you know, European time zones. So yeah, I'd probably be doing these streams to a completely different like different half of my audience. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But, like, I'm streaming tomorrow anyway with my art stream. Not my art stream. Today's my art stream. Tomorrow my gaming stream. We are really trying our best to get through the story of Graveyard Keeper. I just, much like my art process, my gaming process is also very slow. So I tend to kind of just like get lost in the sauce in a way. I lose track of my objectives because I see like this new shiny thing. I'm like, ooh, let's pursue that. And so then by the end of stream, I've like dipped my toes into a bajillion different things, but not progressed any of the main tasks that I had originally set out for myself because I just saw a whole bunch of other shiny things that I would rather look at for the time being. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure there will be plenty of other gamers who are like, yep, forever doing side quests. Hmm. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm a fan of this. What we've got so far. Larger brush that I can just kind of block things out with a little bit better. I don't want the darker shading to be very streaky like the lighter shading. I kind of want it to be a lot chunkier, a little less defined. More of like a shade than a line. Cause like with the lighting, I'm kind of doing like this whole cross-hatching thing. But with the dark, I kind of just want it to be like a darker backdrop, like a little more smooth, a little like rendered out. But then with the light shade, I go from like an 18-point brush to a 3-point brush. Like, all right, let's go crazy. Because I can just go in like that and just start putting lines down. And like we're almost done with his upper body, which is pretty cool and exciting. I'm gonna have to find a way to kind of like, I don't know, like even out the texture a little. Again, we already discussed this. I kind of like what I already got going on, but I also kind of don't. I'm just so indecisive. I cannot. Kind of go into these different shapes. I'm now in this kind of mode similar to what we had with the Faye Dove's hair situation, where I'm like, okay, we're so close to finishing this step. I want to finish this step so bad. We're almost there. Have like a couple more little sections to do. But of course, like, we're jazzed about finishing this, but like, there's all of this still to do. Like, his entire lower body is not done yet. I just keep giving myself difficult assignments, don't I? I say difficult as if there's like a lot to do there. It's a field of all the same color clothing. But doesn't that kind of make it harder? If it's all the same color, you have to make all of it look good and like visually distinct in order for it not to be just a blob of black. That just makes the whole process feel so much more intensive. Kinda don't like what I just did here. But it also could be fine. Add some more dark shade to that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. Well, I don't know. We'll keep it. We'll move on. It'll be fine. Like, the sooner we finish it, like, you know, quote unquote finish it, the sooner we can just like start revising things. It's like it's kind of like that writer motto of like, you can't, you can't like edit and fix a draft that isn't there. Like, you can't, if you don't finish your first draft, you can't edit or revise it because it's not there. It's not real. It's not finished. So the perfect first draft is a finished one. And from there, you just keep going. Then you make your then you make your second draft and your third draft. And then everything starts working out. Now, yeah, Music got real epic there for a second. While I'm sitting there pausing, thinking about my next move. Really, the music is just there to remind me that I'm supposed to be cool and epic, and providing everyone something cool to look at. I basically just bully myself into producing. Oh my goodness. I kinda, me. Having a little moment. I'm like putting stuff in different places. I'm like setting up little videos to take. realize I need a little more... I need a little more confidence in some of these strokes. It's like blob right here that I kind of don't like. I kind of went a little heavy-handed on the whole... Eh. I don't know if I like that either. Oh no, my chapstick. I don't know, I'm just, so I'm like I'm a little disaster artist today. Because that's where my brain is. It is, as the kids say, not good, not ideal. I'm trying to do so much with so little brain. So all of my brain is on different projects that I will be working on later today, but it is not yet later today. It is right now, and I need my brain to, you know, focus on that. Yeah, so we're working on bringing Toki to life. Oh gosh, tell me why right now I'm just, like, violently craving Indian food. Does anyone else just get that? Does anyone else feel me on that right now? Because, oh my gosh. Because I'm sitting here like, oh, I could really go... Honestly, I could go for some butter chicken. I think that's like the basic of the basic options. Because, like, anytime I mention it to anybody, they're like, oh yeah, butter chicken. Like, you know, in reference, like, I bring up Indian food and they're like, oh yeah, I like that stuff. Like, tikka masala? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. So good. If I start thinking about food too much, I'm gonna, like, die. So, best not do that right now. I'll do that after stream when I can actually go and, you know, make myself something to eat. I was thinking about it right now. It's just me torturing myself with all the little snacks that I could be eating. But cannot because I can't really get up right now. Theoretically, I could. I could just say, okay guys, we're going away, bye. I'm not quite ready to be done for today. I'm looking at my other screen, just evaluating what else I think needs to be done. What little steps I still haven't taken, what needs to be... Oh, well, I haven't, goodness gracious, I haven't even shaded in this thing yet. Beautiful. I feel like I'm gonna feel a lot better about this section as soon as I, shade in this silver strip and it stops looking just like a unshaded eyesore. Little flash of white there. Get that little shine on it. Oops. Not ideal there. You. Okay. Yeah, that does look a lot better already on its own. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Okay, well there's this one additional band that's just around his wrist. I'll just grab that real quick. Itchy. And of course we're gonna have to shade in this hand at some point. Can't just leave it looking like this little undefined grabber. Pretty good. I'll just get this little extra shine on the back end there. I think that's pretty good. Just get this. Start filling this shape a little. Katoblapon, hello! I might be late, but I'm here. Yeah, it's a little late, but it's who's counting really. Just got home from film. Ooh, that's fun. Do anything cool and exciting? Watched Galaxy's Guardians. Oh. That's very cool, very cool. Or however it's named in English. Yeah, I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy if you're talking about the same thing that I'm thinking of. I imagine it is. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I haven't really consumed much. Yeah, I haven't really watched much of that myself. So I'm not super familiar, but of course I've seen enough Marvel movies to know of them and about them and to have seen the Guardians themselves within different movies. I wasn't sure the order of the words because English keeps changing the order of words compared to my native language. Yeah, the word order differs quite a bit between English and other languages. I'm a fan of Russian word order because technically barely any of it needs to exist. There's it's no real word order to most sentences you'll use in everyday life. Of course, there's like all the cases and everything for like every single verb and noun that you use. It just gets weird. So if you just like reorder the words, the cases stay the same, so it's very obvious who or what you're referring to, even if you change the order of your words. I think the thing that throws a lot of people off about Russian is the fact that there's no like articles. Like you don't say the cat, for example, you just say kot. There's no the. I think that makes the language fun and cool. Because there are some languages where people are like, oh my gosh, there's so many different ways to say the word the. I just can't keep track of them all. They're like, okay, Russian doesn't have that problem, but you just have to learn like 6 billion different cases for how to describe different nouns and verbs and things, and based on who has them and who's referring to them and what you're doing with them. It's all over the place. Imagine adding like articles to that. No, 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 no. We're good. In Spanish, you have thousands of the and thousands of verbal tenses. Yeah. Yeah, so languages are fun. They're very cool. They are. That was most definitely not being sarcastic. I love languages. And I would study every single one of them if I could. I just don't have the time for that kind of investment, unfortunately. I'm just keeping up my Duolingo streak, and that's kind of like the best I've got. Says the one with over a year streak. Yeah, listen, you don't have to put a lot of time into Duolingo to up your streak. You just pop in, do a lesson, and then be done with it. Certainly not enough effort to learn a language. Alright, so we have these two here. Very cool. Yeah, so Toki's upper body of his cloak now exists and is real, is shaded. Now we just kind of have to. Now we have to kind of just do the rest of him, and we also have to do the rest of Fate of. We'll get there. We'll get there in time. Gosh, yeah. So a few minutes ago, I was getting into this whole thing of like, oh yes, I have announcements to make. And then I just I talked about one of those things and then just completely skipped over everything else. So let's see if I can just, let me see if I can pull up some of these things that I wanted to talk about. I'm just like setting up my little scene because I wasn't expecting to do, like I wasn't planning, not wasn't expecting, I wasn't planning necessarily to do little displays of stuff. But I would like to discuss some of my little announcements and things. And of course, we'll go back to the original, the first one. And that, of course, is the fact that Survivors, as you see on this screen here, of course, a little promo video, post-apocalyptic board game, is releasing on Kickstarter on Monday. I do welcome you all to just like, you know, pop on in there and save it so you can be alerted to when it's going live. It has 200 followers right now. That's pretty exciting. But yeah, so here you see my cover artwork. If I open this in a new tab, is it big? No. It's just web size. But yeah, so this game that I have been working on the art for quite a while. Very fun, very exciting. And look at these little graphics that he has on his website. Just all the little hex tiles that go together. It tells you all about the encounter and everything that's going on. I will share the link to the actual website here too, so you can have a little peep. But yeah, so you have little encounters, and then you read what the tile says and the story behind it. And yeah, so it will make its debut on Kickstarter May 15th. That's in 2 days. So yeah, you can sign up to be notified of its release. You can follow it. Pop-up jump scare. Follow it on Facebook. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was saying earlier that I was considering doing a stream on Monday evening when this launches, just to kind of go over everything, like show it off, talk about how it works, what it is, show off some of the art that I've been doing for it, you know, like a whole number of things. And so that might happen. It might not, it might, I don't know. Monday night crew is like always kind of up in the air. Or not Monday night, weekday night crew is always kind of up in the air, because I know a lot of people who watch me just kind of aren't around in the evenings. For me, anyway. Because it's like really late for the Europeans, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. That is cool and exciting. And of course, let me... You see Discord pop up. Hold up. Don't mind me. Curse of time zones. Yeah, so let's let me pull up some other stuff. I don't really know if I have a thing to pull up for this. Yeah, I don't have anything to pull up for this visually, so you're just gonna have to kind of look at me for a minute. Yeah, so next week on Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be one of the players on World Anvil's Play May, like all-day event stream. I'm going to be one of the players in Kitoipoi's one-shot, and so that's very fun. We have a lovely little cast and crew of people. I'm in this group chat, and we're all just like chatting about stuff. I have to make my character, so I have to come up with who I want to be for this one-shot. Kitoipoi was in the chat earlier telling me that like, oh, we should be ready for some horror and thriller, and it's not going to be fun for the characters. Fun for us, not fun for the characters. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. That's a lot of fun. Let's see what else. Gosh, and yeah, and it's looking like also next week we're going to be getting into some of the it's looking like there's a little chapter, some stuff going on with chapters on World Anvil that we're trying to get some presents for. So next week on World Anvil's Sunday stream, it's looking like we're gonna have some chapter stuff to talk about. And so I'm gonna be there for that. That's gonna be pretty exciting. Because I have recently taken up the mantle of leader in a chapter on World Anvil, and that is 7 tomes. We are a chapter of fantasy writers and lovers. And if anyone in the World Anvil community is also a fantasy lover and you are interested in joining, you'll be on that stream. Yes, at least I was invited. I haven't messaged Morrow back about it, but I most certainly am going to say yes. I'm going to be there. Yes, if you are lacking a chapter on World Anvil and you would like a little club of specifically fantasy writers, go for it and come join us. I'm debating to join or not. It would be my first ever stream and I'm panicking. Don't panic! It's, oh my gosh, okay, literally, it's actually so, you know, if Morrow's running the show, it is so easy to be on stream. Like, running the show completely by yourself, terrifying, honestly. Like, every single day I load up the stream and I'm like, whoo, am I ready for this? But no, getting on stream with Morrow and like the World Anvil crew, it's such a breeze. It's so easy. You just come in ready to chit chat and have some fun. Like Morrow herself is a very pleasant, very open and welcoming presence. She will make you feel welcome and like you are meant to be there, because you are. Morrow's amazing, yeah. Yeah, she knows how to run the show. She knows how to make everyone feel good and ready and happy. And so yeah. See, my only thing with this stream is because, like, I've only just taken up the mantle of leader, I barely know how chapters kind of, like, you know, run most of the time. Like, you know, how they run events and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, talking about, like, you know, what activities do you do with your chapter? I don't know. I don't really do anything like that yet. I'd like to. I just don't do it yet. So I'm kind of hoping that with this stream we can kind of like come up with some ideas and brainstorm and see what we can come up with. But yeah, just describing what our chapter is and what it's about. I think I could do that. My chapter is half dead for a long time. My new chapter is less than a month old. Yeah, so genuinely, I think chapters are just in this state where like maybe some more active chapters do stuff. I have no insight on what other chapters do. Like I literally could not tell you. It's a mystery. I don't know what other chapters do. I don't know how they fill their time. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know how they fill in their time. I don't know how they interact with each other, how they interact with the community. I'm assuming that with the like updates to chapters and all these things that they're planning for and going to announce, we're going to find more ways to actually, you know, like get involved with each other, do more activities. Yeah, I know Mochi's chapter do monthly recaps, but I don't know what else. Yeah, I was thinking for my own chapter personally that I would love to start finding ways that as a content creator I can start like spotlighting people in my chapter and the work that they're doing. And so it'd be really cool and interesting to see other chapter leaders kind of like become, I don't know, like more prominent figures in the community and like sharing their work with the greater community. Yeah, so like I as a streamer, I would love to do like article reads from our chapter and like do little, like we could even do like little mini competitions at some point. Like if we get enough active people, Um, I'm hoping, again, like with the fact they're trying to update chapters and like revamp them and reintroduce them to the community, like we're gonna get some new members, we're gonna do stuff. Um, yeah, so you've been preparing a book club and summer camp stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So I would love to get, essentially, I would love to get my chapter and maybe like encourage other chapters as well to start building up hype around events. So like any competitions on the site, anything that's going on in the community, like just get your chapter excited and mobilized and hyped for it, and just encourage people to participate in the community. Like obviously not everyone's going to be about it, not everyone has to be. But it'd be really cool to have like a small corner of the internet where like you know everybody who's there. And I think that's like the best part of a chapter, like you know the people there. It's a very small collection of people, and whenever a new person is added there, like there's some fanfare, it's like welcome, you're a part of this little club now. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? Share your work with us. And so yeah, you're just like adding people to this little mini community within the larger community that I know a lot of people get very overwhelmed by. Like a lot of people kind of join the World Anvil Discord and they're like, wow, there's so many different channels, so many different people. I start talking, I feel like I'm being drowned out, and like with the massive growth of this community, that's absolutely a thing that I see often, and frankly at this point I kind of expect it more and more. Because like there's always a bajillion people chatting in there in different channels, different places. We kind of find different channels that we like to settle in, find our little niche. Like I like so many others kind of like live in the challenge discussion channel. Like I live in challenge discussion, I live in summer camp chat when that comes up, and World Ember chat as well. Like that's kind of like that is my home. But then there's also like little subgroups of the server that like I know there are a lot of people who hang out in the art channels and I see them there pretty consistently. There are people in like the like world building 1, world building 2, like those world building channels, and they live in there too. And so yeah, it's hard to find a niche for yourself in a community that's growing so large. And I think that's like the exact point of a chapter. And I think that's like the original intent of them. It's just people don't utilize them very much because sometimes it is easier to just make a group of friends and build a server elsewhere. But if we have a way to link chapters and their activity to the actual platform, there's more of an incentive to keep it on platform and within the chapters. And I would love that. I think that'd be perfect because honestly, I don't think that chapters should be like a gate-kept thing. I don't think it should be difficult to get into a chapter. Because like if everyone has their friend groups off of platform, it takes a lot of trust and a lot of like, you don't want to just put anybody into your friends only Discord server. But if it's a chapter, it's on platform and it's moderated by that platform, then like reasonably you could have anybody in there as long as they're nice. You can have anybody in there as long as they're a friendly face. I agree with all that, yeah. Yeah, like I just want the chapters to be like a smaller sub-community within our huge community where we talk about like specific things. We bond over like a shared interest. Like obviously in the case of Seven Tomes, it's a love for fantasy. Fantasy themes, fantasy writing material, like any fantastical thing, that is what Seven Tomes is about. And that is why I fought a little. I'm not going to say I fought really hard. All I did was like ask a mod, like, "Hey, our leader's a little bit inactive. Can I take over?" Well, I did not ask to take over, but it just kind of happened that they were like, "Oh yeah, they're willing to pass the leader hat on to you. Would you accept?" I'm like, "Okay, sure. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it." Um, yeah, I would like to take more like community focused like positions in the future. And so yeah, I don't know. I really like the idea of leading a chapter and I would love to see where we can take it. I don't know what all the plans are. I know that they have like little websites planned on World Anvil for different chapters and such. Like let me see if I can find an example of of what already exists as far as chapter homepages. So I know those are a thing, and not everybody has one, but there are at least a couple. I think we'll do science fantasy thinkers. Yeah, so there's like little pages on World Anvil for some of the chapters that already exist, like this. And so I don't know if what's going to happen is like we're going to get these pages for every single chapter, and they're going to be like upgraded, or if it's just going to be like everybody has one and like what? Oh, what is that page? Why did I never see that? Yeah. If you go into the info chapters channel in the World Anvil Discord, you can see like some of the chapters have like links. So it's like worldanvil.com/chapterhouse/whatever, and like Remember has one as well. But yeah, like these pages obviously aren't finished, and there's, you know, like description, like this chapter doesn't have a description. So these pages just kind of exist, but nothing was ever done with them. Let's see. Is this, no, this is a world that someone made. That's not the same thing. Yeah, but like it looks like some people just kind of, oh yeah, this chapter doesn't exist anymore, so they're so outdated. Yeah, I know. It's yeah, they're a little outdated, but I'm hoping that we can, with these updates, get some stuff going on and maybe update these websites, have some actual proper representation on the site for the different chapters. And yeah. Oh, this is Bowels of the Forge. Yeah, so I don't know. And there are old dead chapters, yeah. My new chapter isn't even in the info chapter page. I would just message I would message Adam all about that. Like I like I got my little, I had to request the name of the leader be changed to mine. I don't want to bother. I just or just if you don't want to specifically bother someone, just I would just go into the little, I feel like I've already bothered her enough. Yeah, just open up a mod ticket, I would say, and just be like, "Hey, I just you know, I lead a chapter and it's not on the list of chapters. I would like it to be added, please." And whoever has the brain space to do so will be like, "Okay, sure." Keep hearing the word mod ticket. Yeah. Okay. We just pop on into the World Anvil Discord here. So you go to the rules and welcome, and this right here, you just contact moderation, you hit this button. Yeah, so that's how you just contact the mods about mod stuff. Yeah, so that thing. So if you just click here, it'll take you to I have that channel muted and hidden. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like nothing really goes into this channel. Yeah, I don't really have any of the channels muted or hidden, so you'll see I have like 10 billion things here. I don't know. There's a lot of different things in here, a lot of different channels. But yeah, you just go here, you hit the little contact moderation button, and then you just type in your little issue and then hit submit. And then any mod with the power to do so will just pick it up. When I submitted my ticket, Adamall actually picked it up like instantly, so you're probably gonna get like the same response. I cannot see all the channels with notifications. I need the server cleans. Oh, true. Yeah, I've just come to accept that sometimes there will be little things and stuff to read. But yeah. So we're gonna see where the whole chapter thing leads us. And I'm pretty excited for where that might go and what might happen as a result. Because I don't know, I have this leadership hat on now and I barely know how to use it, but I know that I want to. So we're gonna see. For now, we're just planning for summer camp. We're gonna see we're gonna see what we can do, what we can put together, and like with you as well, we're gonna see what kind of like little collabs we can do and like little friendly competitions. Yeah, like the world is our oyster, I think. We not a lot of people are interfacing with chapters these days. And so I think now is going to be the renaissance of the World Anvil chapter, where we, as these new leaders, are going to be figuring out what exactly we can do and how to do it. Yeah, chapter collabs. Yeah, like that's really what it is. I think we need to get more members into chapters and we need to give them a reason to be in there. maybe other way around. We give people a reason to be in the chapters and then we get more people in there because they now want to be in there. Yes, we shall revive the chapters like a phoenix. Triumph sound. Or does a triumph sound like clown horn? Yeah, and so we'll see how that goes. We no, we drag them in and we teach them why they should stay. Yeah, I like that. I'm a fan of that. This is gonna like leave a mark on my chin if I leave it suction there for too long. But yeah. Listen, I just have a clown horn at the ready all the time. Because life is all about the clownery. But yeah, ah I really gosh, I really love this conversation, but I do need to dip because I have so much work that I need to do today and tomorrow and I'm dying. I'm perishing. Screaming, crying, dying. It's okay though. We'll get through it. I just have a lot of work to do. um we can keep conversation Discord. Yeah. And so with that I do say for all my lurkers out there, I also have a lot to do. Yeah. For my lurkers, I do implore you to follow me on my socials, particularly TikTok if you have that, because I'm trying to build that up right now, and I'm so desperately trying to get to that 1,000 followers that you need to put a link in your bio, because that's a thing for some reason. But hee-hoo, I'm making a lot more world building and like D&D content lately, and it's kind of popping off. I'm not gonna lie to you. And yeah, so I'm excited about it. I think the content making thing has been really fun lately, and so we're gonna try to keep those good vibes going. And so yeah, hit me up. Most of my social media presence these days is on Twitter and TikTok, so I had a great time, even if it was short. Yay, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you came by, even if it was for a little while. And that is true for everyone here. I know some people were here from the beginning. Thank you. I know some people were here halfway through. Also, thank you. I know some people came here at the end. Also, thank you. I just really appreciate anybody who comes by to say hi, anybody who comes to watch, to listen, even to turn on my stream and mute the tab and then leave it open just so I can get another view count. It's all the support in any form is appreciated. And so yes, as always, I will also say I have a Discord server, so if you would like to keep up with me and all my updates and all my everything, which there's gonna be a lot of updates in the near future, so if you want to keep up with those, definitely go hang out in my Discord server. You can choose to be pinged for different artworks that I upload, for my streams, for anytime I do anything, really. And yeah, so I'm going to go see if there's anybody, like, raidable right now. No, no one I follow is currently streaming. That's a shame, because I've been following so many different people lately. I'm really surprised to see that there's like no one on a Saturday. That's rateable for me. But anyway, I thank you very much for coming by, everybody. and having a little watch, having a little adventure with me while I do my little. I'll hold up. And thank you for watching while I did my little art today. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the progress. I think it's really great. I love these characters. And yeah, thank you everybody who came by today and watched. There's so much detail in it. Thank you. I'm trying really hard to balance the whole putting in detail and also not taking 10 years to make this, but it is kind of taking 10 years to make it, so it's not really working out for me. But that's okay, because this is like all I'm gonna be doing on stream for, you know, a little while. But of course, tomorrow, if you would like to tune in, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be playing more Graveyard Keeper. It is taking 10 years to make it, but it's so good. Thank you. Yes, I will see everyone tomorrow for more gaming, little nerd stream. But for now, toodaloo, goodbye. I will see you guys later. Stay happy, stay hydrated, stay creative, and happy creating.